industry. And I guess on a personal note, as I close, I'm really looking forward to the time when I hear an industry representative say, we comply with every applicable state and federal regulation. I'm looking to the time when I can really believe in that and feel safe that they are. Right now, I don't feel safe at all when they say that. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, my name is George Slameyer. I'm probably a rather unique individual being tonight here, but I'm a veteran of the oil and gas industry of some 40-something years. The last 20 years, I was known as a well site supervisor or, quote, the company man. The reason I bring that up there, I'd like to speak to you from the perspective of an oil and gas profession. I want to particularly congratulate the legal women over there for their very able presentation tonight, and a lot of the other comments here. They're all inciting and enlightening. I think we need to look at a review of basically how the oil and gas business functions there, and I have 7 particular comments there, so I'll try not to run over my allotted 4.5 minutes. First of all, let's talk about the actual drilling of the well from top to bottom. The well, once its rig moved on location, surface casing is set to a depth below the fresh water sand as mandated by the Water Board for the state of Texas. That cement is then circulated back to the surface then. So in essence, then you do have your water sands protected by cement from the all the way up to the surface of the ground. Which you can probably say a lot of the fresh water well drill, they don't cement their well in either, but in all business we do is mandated. Secondly, drilling to the total depth after coming out from underneath the surface pipe is mandated by the use of a closed loop system as required by a lot of the municipalities here within the area. The third comment, once TD is reached, the casing is run into well bore and cement is pumped down the casing and back up the outside of it, and it's designed to rise some 1,000, 1,500 foot above the pay zone, in this case the Barnett's the shale. Once the well is cased, the rig is removed and a completion unit is rigged up. The well is then perforated, fracked with fresh water, sand, and small amounts of various chemicals blended in with treating fluid to carry the high volume sand into the formation. After the well is fracked, the flowback process begins, including in our flowback procedure nowadays is used what's called a green completion. That is to say the produced gas is separated by a separator that sends the gas down the sales line and produce water to a storage tank to be hauled to a saltwater disposal well. Once the well is stabilized, production equipment is installed. Arlington is particularly forced to be in a dry gas zone, low BTU with little or no hydrocarbons. Vapor recovery systems are installed if and only if hydrocarbons are present in such quantities as to justify a vapor recovery system. Would you not agree that there is no justification to put in such a system if there are no hydrocarbons? The last item that I'm going to talk about there is there's a lot of fear, and there was even comment in the Fort Worth paper today about the city being quote leery of contamination from saltwater disposal wells. Again, let me explain to you very simply how this works. Every saltwater disposal well has a packer that is set in the well bore above the injection zone. The Railroad Commission mandates annual testing of casing above the packer and submission of a signed statement and static pressure test chart until the well is plugged. Now, agreed, sure, there probably been some Well, the case has gone bad then, and we have in Northfield what's called a remedial technique, where they go in there, they pull out the tube in the old packer, run in another packer and do what we call a squeeze job, where we squeeze cement into where the bag pipe is located and seal it off. That is then drilled back out, and then the packer run back in the well bore and set, and then the injection operations commence again. That's basically the sum of my comments tonight about the oil and gas business. I could probably go on for another 4 or 5 hours, but I think we're all agreed that the hour is getting rather late here. Again, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, and I feel like it's y'all need to hear the perspective from. I'm not a paid spokesman for the oil and gas industry. I just happen to be somebody that worked for the company for a number of years there, and this was my job as a well site completion and work over specialist. Finally, I want to mention this to everybody present. Safety first is the primary goal of every person and company engaged in this mighty endeavor to make America independent of foreign and hostile oil and gas countries. Should we not all thank our God for this bountiful wealth He has bestowed upon this, the Barnett Shale? Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Bruce, anything right now? Thank you so much.
I noticed I didn't get a standing ovation.
Few of us rarely do. Terry Jensen and Kimberly Franklin, please. You have the microphone. Go ahead.
I'm Terry Jensen. I live by the FW Airport, so I have the pollution of the Barnett Shale and the airport to look forward to. I also have my feet in many camps here. Since my great-grandfather, my family has been in the oil and gas business. My grandfather was a driller, as was my father. The original Texas Wildcatters were a wild group of men. They were strong and independent. They had very little respect for the law. My grandfather, for example, thought it was okay to be voted in Texas and several other states. They wear suits now, but I don't think they've changed very much. I haven't seen much change. In addition to that, I am a mother and a grandmother. 2 of my grandchildren have asthma. I live in an area where I hear people cough every day. I cough myself. People talk about having a sore throat or having a headache. I wasn't like that growing up. But since I've been grown, I've become an environmentalist. And that's my foot in another camp. And I will say that for the last 6 winters, I have not turned my heat on. Do you notice that I have not frozen to death? I did not need the gas industry to keep me warm. So I want to say to you, please, we do not have the protections we need in Texas. Go back and figure out what they are and support us. That's what we're looking for. Thank you.
My name is Kimberly Franklin. I live in Arlington, Texas. I'm a concerned United States citizen. Natural gas is an important resource for all of us, but the oil and gas industry needs to step up and become socially responsible and use the best practices throughout the nation to protect the environment. Arlington, Texas is rewriting gas drilling ordinances right now, but the local government doesn't regulate any environmental aspects of drilling. Our local government thinks a 300-foot well setback is adequate for our community. Condensate tanks holding industrial waste can be 100 feet from homes. I drove down to Vision, which is just a few hundred feet north of where we're sitting right now, on a 3-mile stretch of the road. 4 separate drill sites have been approved. Just south of River City, about a mile, there's a drill site that has 22 wells on it. If those 4 sites have that many wells, we're looking at 100 wells just within about a 3-mile radius. The oil and gas industry is invading our community throughout the Barnett Shale. Arlington's mayor and council rely on the state's oversight for safety issues. Unfortunately, the Texas Railroad Commission can't adequately oversee all the drill sites in Texas. In Texas, the oil and gas industry is largely self-regulated. Texas has laws in place regulating the industry that were written in a previous century. We need a major update. We need the EPA. All the citizens of the United States need clean air and water. As a concerned citizen, I am grateful the EPA is looking at air regulations for the oil and gas industry. It looks like a new sheriff is coming to town and Texas needs it. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Okay, let's see. Tolly Thomas and Barbara Corporal, please.
My name is Tolly Thomas, and I am the Barnett Shale hostage. I'm also the spokesperson of the Southwest Fort Worth Alliance, a group of 25,000 property owners that came together in 2008 to negotiate a mutually beneficial and environmentally protective lease agreement with the companies that were invading our neighborhoods. It strikes me as odd that at a formal discussion regarding the environmental impacts of the natural gas industry, we are inserting and considering economics whatsoever. Because you are not the Economic Protection Agency, you're the Environmental Protection Agency. The reason for that distinction and the need for the EPA at all is that the energy industry already has the economic resources 1,000 times over to suppress and oppress the average citizen who is in need of your protection. We're here to address the sense, S-E-N-S-E, not the sense, C-E-N-T-S, of this situation. There should be no reason to equate a request to do this safely and ethically as an attack on the industry unless they already know. And perhaps they already know, as we already know, and as I imagine you already know. You do probably already know that there is an issue in Texas. It is historically true that industry does not do what it is not required to do, that any industry needs requirements and needs regulation in order to act ethically whenever money is involved. Industry's primary operation is to minimize the overhead and maximize profits. But doing this safely and ethically is not going to put the oil and gas industry out of business, though it may cause them a little more reciprocal discomfort, which we have personally been dealing with for many years here, since 2000. To the industry here in the audience taking notes, I'd like to say to you that you cannot separate what you do from who you are. Please know what you are doing and understand what you are doing to our communities. I put to you that there is no difference between BP spilling toxins into our ocean than there is from this industry spilling toxins into our air. This is a state currently fighting standards, EPA standards, with citizen tax dollars. I have personally heard local and state politicians as they addressed an industry crowd without the average citizen present